I haven't been on in a while. A bit of chaos happened. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I was ended up in a safe house. And this was by Bindi with the Jonah Project, right? So I just assumed that this was going to be a safe place. This woman, I went online. I saw that she was doing videos about the Jonah Project where they help children that were trafficked find homes and all this stuff, right? And so she ended up putting me in this house with these people, an older couple, and they had two other women staying in rooms there that come from abusive situations, or one she's just homeless. And they put me in this tiny little camper. And when I say tiny, I mean like we're talking little tiny 25 square foot, maybe even smaller. But I was just happy to like not be spending money and not worrying and just being somewhere, right? And then over time, it was like I was missing all the signs and synchronicities, and these were even given to me before I arrived at this place. That my spirit guides and spirit were literally telling me, no, these people are dangerous. These people were hired by your family. And then even when I kind of knew, it was almost like I don't know why I continued to stay. I did keep getting messages from my guides that it was something called like the trauma freeze response, to where so many bad things have happened by like decisions you made or just by the PTSD that like you're so afraid to make the same mistake again that you just stay stuck in a very toxic situation because you don't want to go into another one. So I was staying in this place for over a month, and it was hitting me that it was like there was this kid there, Jacob, he was that 20-year-old kid, and he was working with my family, possibly John, who's the ex, who's this dangerous man, on poisoning my dog, poisoning myself, just cursing me, giving me gifts to try and curse me. And it was like I knew he was doing all this stuff, but I continued to stay, which was, now that I look back, I'm like, what was I doing? And I guess this trauma freeze response is a real thing. And so finally, it was like, my guides were literally like, he's going to kill your dog. And I noticed, so basically there were 3 dogs there, right? 2 were these people's. And he would go on about how, he hates dogs. And so would the older man, John. Now, one of the signs you know when you have a demon is that you hate animals, because no one should hate animals. So there's that. So basically, it was like the first time I was sitting there, and this Jacob kid goes, oh, do you want me to make you a sandwich from the leftover turkey from Thanksgiving? And I was like, sure. It was like my first week there. And so he made me like a half of a sandwich, and he put some cheesecake in there too. And, I was eating it, and I gave a little bit to one of the dogs, which I shouldn't do, but I just did. That night and through the next day and the next day, both that dog and I were really sick, and I didn't connect it. And then we got better. And I mean, this dog was sick, like literally diarrhea for 2 days, wouldn't move, was astoundingly sick. So the next thing I noticed, another dog gets really sick, like for 2 days, can't move, nothing, paralyzed. And they kept blaming it on the compost that this kid was doing out in the front yard. And I was just like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden my dog gets really sick. He won't move, nothing. I even saw like there was blood coming from his anal. And I'm like, what is going on? And then literally like, sometimes I get these tarot readings that pop up on YouTube, and this one reader's like, this guy's poisoning your dogs. They're trying to sacrifice your dogs. And it just all of a sudden hit me where I was like, what am I doing? And I realized these guys actually, had access to my TikTok channel. They were watching everything I do. They were talking to my family. Like they were trying to take me out. And my guides were literally like, get out of there. So I ended up trying to tell the sheriff, but then I noticed that like the sheriffs were involved. I don't know involved, but they basically were involved in avoiding me. because I was driving and I could tell they were all, like I went to the door and the guy was like, yeah, we're busy right now, but we'll come in a second. It never showed up. But then one sheriff guy kind of shows up and he listens to my story, but he seemed concerned, but I just don't trust police officers at all. And it was like all of this stuff. And I finally was just like, I got to go and I don't know where I'm going. That was the main thing. I didn't know where I was going. And so I got in my car, like I went in that morning and they were trying to say things, you know, like they were just talking to me and not realizing that they were saying things that were matching what were on my TikTok channel when I was talking about my situation. And so I just talked to them for a bit and then they all left. And then I literally when they left, I took that as the opportunity to just bolt. I ended up going into Sandpoint, which is about 25 minutes from Priest River, and staying in this hotel. And they can see like when I book things. And so they were literally like seeing everything that I was doing, like everything that I was doing. And so they were able to get there in time, pay the staff, put cameras in my room, everything. Had a man set up to do like this. I don't know if it's MK Ultra. It's like something they do that makes you like, it was like, it makes my whole back vibrate, like up my back, my neck, my vagus nerve, like, and I don't know if it was energy harvesting or it's something. And these people have been doing this to me like 2 other times where it was intense. And it's when they know that they have at least more than 3 or 4 days. Because I think maybe it takes a long time for the machine to get set up. And I've read a lot, you know, with the mind control, I'm just like, I'm not experiencing a lot of these symptoms. But it really matches up with what they talk about energy harvesting, which is like these cults try to do destiny swaps with you. And so they attack your chakras. They have these way of siphoning your energy. So it's like knocking your chakras out of imbalance, and it's taking all of your manifestations, your energy, and your destiny swap. I heard it doesn't eventually work after a while, but this is something that cults do to a lot of people. And so this is something that they've been doing to me. So basically, they had it set up. And I have a video on my TikTok. If you ever want to go to TikTok, it's at Enlightened Aries Survivor on TikTok. And I literally got this guy sitting out in his car, like covering the windows behind like this silver thing, using this machine. And it was like, I went out there because it was like my whole back was vibrating, my shoulders, my arms, everything was vibrating. And I'm like, what is going on? And so, and here's this guy in there, car on for like 3 or 4 hours running this machine because I think they have to be above me in a hotel room. So maybe the one was taken or something. But yeah, this guy was running a machine. And so I took a video of it and everything. And, you know, and realized I was in a dangerous situation. Like I'm saying, I'm talking like these are cults. So if you ever want to go to Idaho and you don't want to deal with the occult, don't go to Idaho, especially Priest River and Sandpoint. So like so then my guides were trying to warn me, like they were trying to set up, the police were going to come to my hotel room and possibly arrest me for setting me up, like planting drugs or something. Like it was out of control. So finally I leave there. And I'm sitting here like thinking, okay, should I go to Washington? And I was going on my pendulum. And, you know, later I learned too, when you have negative energy and entities around you, especially coming from witchcraft, like it can affect your pendulum. It can affect your tarot cards. Like being in that camper and being constantly attacked with witchcraft, like I had no good spirits there. And so it told me to come to Washington. So I come all the way to Moses Lake, right? Thinking, oh, I've always wanted to be in Moses Lake, thinking, is this a place I could set up my temporary home or permanent home or whatever? And I get here and I'm staying at the Ramada Inn, right? And I'm staying for a few days because I'm literally trying to figure out where I'm going to live. And I'm discouraged because it's like, will this ever stop? Will this gang stalking ever stop? Will are they going to get an apartment above me and do this to me? And I'm going to be locked into a lease and not be able to prove that like this is being done to me. Do you know what I mean? And I felt like my life was over. Like I literally was depressed, and I just have been staying here. I've been out here almost a week, and now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to set up shop. I'm here in Washington. It's pretty dark. I don't know. I'm getting that like there's a lot of dark energies here. And and this is where I'm from. My family's here. All my friends that betrayed me from Skagit Valley. And so I'm just right now in a situation to where I just have to trust in God. And that's what I'm doing. And this is something really new to me, to trust something that you can't see. It's like I feel like I'm totally protected and that I have the protection, but like, is my life going to ever get better? And, and it's like you have faith, and that's what I'm going by, and I'm learning this, so watch me. I might be living proof, but I'm learning to put my faith in God and knowing that everything is going to work out for me and it's going to be good. As long as, I can just have that faith. And, I watch all these other people and they have faith and everything seems to go great for them. And so this is something really new to me. And it's scary, especially when you're so used to having control, So this is my journey, and I'm still not out of hot water. My family is still, like my ex-husband and John, they're still like plotting and planning on ways to take me out. I feel like there's a life insurance policy and it's coming to a lapse, and like they have to come up with a death certificate is what I'm getting. And so that's kind of why there's a push. So, and they need me to die of natural causes or in some way, because I'm being very vocal about how they're attacking me, how they're gang stalking me, how they're doing all these things to me, so that now if I end up just dead by like someone taking me out with a gun, that like, do you know what I mean? Like, then they'll be blamed. But if it's by cancer, by this machine they're using, or it's by witchcraft in some way, or doing witchcraft on my car or something, then it's like they can never look at my ex-husband and John and this cult that they're in. So this is my life. It's just a constant hit on me, a constant plot and plan. I'm hearing like they mess with my medical records. I'm hearing like they're still trying to think about like how they can sabotage my car, how they can just everything. And even in Moses Lake, they have people that were like, they have a tracker on my car. They see where I go. And then they bring their little Stingray machine to see if they can tap into my phone. Like, it's just never ending. So this is something that I'm going to have to like have faith that it's all going to turn out, that it's all going to go. And there's so many things that, like my guides are just saying, try to go through this, everything feeling love and having faith and giving yourself to God, and it's kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. It's really scary. But I'm really trying. I really am. And so I guess I'll just let you know how that goes. But yeah, I mean, I look forward to it, and I'm working at, reading the Bible more and realizing that, all our life lessons are in the Bible. And it's kind of like, if you're kind of doing something or you're trying to make a decision in life, it's like, if it's not in the Bible, then it's not meant to be a decision that you need to make, So I'm only on Luke. I need to get going. And I can already tell they're starting this machine right now. It's like 5 something. They start early or whatever. And then they're slowly attack you. And then while you're sleeping, it's intense. It's like they're attacking your dream state or something. They try to steal your downloads from spirit. attack your dreams. They steal your, like I'm hearing all these years they were doing this to me. They were stealing my downloads from spirit. They were stealing my ideas, stealing my manifestations, everything. Since like 2018. And or maybe my whole life, you know, I'm hearing some childhood secrets are going to come out, and it's going to kind of explain why I've been going through a lot of the stuff I've been going through. So a lot of this stuff is going to resonate with a lot of other people too, because this stuff is not just happening to me. It's happening to a lot of people. So I guess we'll see how this goes.